of Moana, the spirited daughter of a mighty chief, and Maui, the trickster demigod. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear this sound. Let's begin now.
In the beginning, there was only ocean, until an island emerged. The mother island, Tefiti. Her heart had the power to create life itself, and she shared it with the world. But in time, some began to covet Tefiti's heart. They thought if they possessed it, the power of creation would be theirs. And one day, the most brazen of them all voyaged across the vast ocean to take it. He was a demigod of the wind and sea. A shapeshifter, a trickster, a warrior who wielded a mighty magical fishhook. And his name was Maui.
In the village of Motunui, a group of small children gathered around Grandma Tala, listening to her tale.
Without her heart, Tefiti began to crumble, giving birth to a terrible darkness. Maui tried to escape, but was confronted by another who sought the heart. Teka, a demon of earth and fire. Maui was struck from the sky, never to be seen again. And his magical fishhook and the heart of Tefiti were lost to the sea.
Grandma Tala spoke of a terrible darkness spreading through the land. Her words frightened the children, and they burst into tears. But Moana, the chief's daughter, was not scared. Grandma went on.
But one day, the heart will be found by someone who would journey beyond our reef, find Maui, deliver him across the great ocean to restore Tefiti's heart and save us all.
Just then, Chief Tui appeared. Hearing the children's cries, he tried to comfort them.
No one ever needs to go outside our reef. We are safe. There is no darkness. There are no monsters.
While Chief Tui soothed the other children, young Moana slipped down to the beach. She was reaching for a beautiful shell at the edge of the water when she spied some large seabirds attacking a baby turtle. Moana hurried to help the turtle reach the water's edge. Suddenly, the ocean waves beckoned Moana. Giggling, she stepped forward as the ocean played with her hair. Following the water away from the shore, Moana noticed a small stone with a strange spiral pattern on it. She had just grasped the object when her father called her name. The ocean quickly whisked Moana back to the sandy shore. As she landed, the stone fell from her hand. Tui picked up Moana.
Oh yes, you are the next great chief of our people, and you will do wondrous things.
Moana took her father's hand, and they turned toward the village. Behind them, unseen, Grandma Tala quietly plucked the half-buried stone from the sand. Years passed. As Moana grew into a teenager, her father worked to prepare her for the time when she would become chief. One day, he asked her to lead a council meeting. Moana was surprised to learn that the village's crops were dying, and there were no more fish in the lagoon. Moana wanted to help her people. Chief Tui had forbidden anyone from going beyond the reef. but Moana thought perhaps they would find fish out in the open sea. Tui grew angry.
No one goes beyond the reef.
Later that day, as Moana watched the fishermen, she tried to think of a way to help. She didn't want to disobey her father, but she knew in her heart their best chance was to go past the reef.
There's more fish beyond the reef. There's more beyond the reef.
Grabbing a boat, an oar, and her pet pig, Pua, Moana set sail. She had not gone far when a large wave knocked into her boat, destroying it. Pua and Moana tumbled into the water and were washed ashore. As Moana lay in the sand, discouraged, Grandma Tala appeared. Moana told her that her father was right. It seemed she wasn't meant to venture beyond the reef. With a mysterious smile, Grandma Tala led Moana to a hidden cave. Moana was confused.
What's in there?
Grandma handed Moana a torch.
The answer to the question you keep asking yourself. Who are you meant to be? Go inside, bang the drum, and find out.
Moana entered the cavern. She could hardly believe her eyes. It was full of beautiful ancient boats. Moana climbed into the largest boat in the cavern. A log drum sat on the deck. Curious, she hit the drum. The boat's sails seemed to come to life. Moana could feel her ancestors crossing the sea in search of new lands. Moana was amazed at the incredible discovery.
We were voyagers. Why'd we stop?
Grandma Tala explained that the ships had stopped coming back when Maui stole the heart of Te Fiti. To protect their people, the ancient chiefs had forbidden any more voyages. But now the darkness that Maui had awakened had begun to spread across their island. Grandma Tala gently pressed the heart of Te Fiti into Moana's hand. It was the stone the ocean had given Moana all those years before. Grandma Tala smiled.
The ocean chose you.
Moana had to do something. After racing back to the village, she burst into a council meeting.
We can save our island! We were voyagers! We can voyage again!
Chief Tui was mad. He wished Moana would forget about the ocean. Just then, a messenger brought terrible news. Grandma Tala was ill. Moana hurried to her side. Grandma Tala urged her granddaughter to find Maui.
Follow the fish hook. And when you find Maui, you grab him by the ear. You say, I am Moana of Utului. You will board my boat, sail across the sea, and restore the heart of the Fiti. Go.
Moana knew Grandma Tala was right. She took a boat from the cave and boldly set sail. At dawn, Moana discovered a stowaway. It was Hei Hei the rooster. When Hei Hei saw the water, he panicked. Moana laughed.
The ocean is a friend of mine.
That night, a violent storm hit. Rocked by the waves, Moana's boat crashed on an island. Moana and Hei Hei had landed on Maui's island. Moana tried to give her speech, but Maui cut her off. He was not interested in Moana. He was focused on something else.
Boat! A boat!
Moana tried to tell Maui that he must go with her.
I'm here because you stole the heart of Te Fiti, and you will board my boat, sail across the sea, and put it back.
But Maui would not listen. Instead, he used his tattoos to show Moana his great achievements, like bringing fire to mortals, lassoing the sun to make days longer, and even creating coconuts. Maui wanted to leave the island. He trapped Moana in a cave and set sail in her boat. Moana escaped and swam toward Maui, but she couldn't catch up with him. Suddenly, the ocean lifted her onto the boat. Maui was stunned.
Did not see that coming.
The demigod tossed Moana into the water, but the ocean kept returning her to the boat. Moana held up the heart of Te Fiti.
I am Moana of Motunui, and you will restore the heart.
Maui backed away.
That is not a heart. It is a curse. If you don't put it away, bad things are gonna come for it.
Just then, a huge spear slammed into the boat. Maui looked around.
Kakamora. Murdering little pirates.
Suddenly, a group of small, feisty warriors wearing coconut armor boarded the boat. In the confusion, the heart of Te Fiti fell from Moana's necklace, and Hei ate it. One of the Kakamora picked up Hei. Grabbing her oar, Moana raced after him. She knocked pirate after pirate out of her way. Finally, she whacked the thief over the head and took back Hei, who coughed up the heart. Quickly, Moana and Maui raced away. Moana knew that she needed Maui's help to reach Te Fiti and restore the heart. But Maui needed her help too. Without his hook, he had no magic. Moana offered him a trade.
We get your hook, take out Te Kā, restore the heart. Deal?
The demigod agreed.
Deal.
But getting the fish hook wouldn't be easy. It was being held by Tamatoa, a giant crab who collected shiny objects. Tamatoa lived in Lalotai, the realm of monsters. Maui and Moana climbed up a tall, jagged rock and then jumped down, through a portal in the ocean to Lalotai. Moana rushed into Tamatoa's cave, only to be captured by the monster. To her surprise, Maui came to her rescue and grabbed his hook. But when he tried to shapeshift and fly away, he couldn't. His hook wasn't working correctly. As Tamatoa closed in on Maui, Moana held up the heart of Te Fiti. Then she dropped it to the ground. When Tamatoa lunged for it, Moana grabbed the fish hook. Tamatoa thought he got the heart, but Moana had tricked him. Tamatoa was left with a rock. Moana still had the heart. Moana had kept her part of the deal. Now it was Maui's turn. Maui taught Moana how to sail and navigate by the stars. In return, Moana helped Maui relearn how to use his hook. The two began to earn each other's respect. As they approached the island of Te Fiti, smoke billowed into the sky. It was Te Kā, the lava monster. With Moana's encouragement, Maui felt confident that he could defeat Te Kā.
It's Maui time.
The demigod transformed into a hawk and flew toward the blackened barrier islands around Te Fiti. Suddenly, Te Kā rose up and knocked Maui out of the sky. Moana caught Maui in her boat. Maui told Moana to turn around. They weren't ready to face Te Kā, but Moana kept going. Te Kā brought its giant fist down toward their boat. At the last second, Maui raised his fishhook and blocked the blow. The impact created a tidal wave that carried Moana and Maui out into the ocean, far from Te Fiti. Looking at Te Kā, Moana realized something. The monster was made of hot lava. It could not touch the cool ocean water. If Moana could distract Te Kā, maybe she could sneak past it. Moana turned to Maui for help, but he refused. His fishhook had been damaged by Te Kā's blow. One more hit and it would be destroyed.
Without my hook, I am nothing. Goodbye, Moana.
Moana didn't know what to do. She needed Maui to restore the heart of Te Fiti. Holding up the heart, she showed it to Maui.
The ocean chose me!
But Maui just shook his head.
I chose wrong.
With that, Maui changed back into a hawk and flew away. All alone, Moana dropped the heart of Te Fiti back into the ocean.
You have to choose someone else. Choose someone else.
Moana watched sadly as the heart sank. She had thought the ocean would tell her not to give up, but it was letting Moana make her own decision. Suddenly, a glowing manta ray rushed through the water toward her. A voice came from the bow of the boat.
You're a long ways past the reef.
It was Grandma Tala. She told Moana that she had been wrong to pressure her.
I never should have put so much on your shoulders. If you are ready to go home, I will be with you.
Moana nodded and put her oar in the water. Then she hesitated. She no longer knew what was the right thing to do. Listening, she tried to find her inner voice again. Finally, the answer came to her. She was Moana. She loved her people and the sea. She was a wayfinder. Moana dove into the dark water. Far below on the ocean floor, the heart of Te Fiti began to glow. After what felt like forever, Moana's fingers closed around the heart. When she resurfaced, Grandma Tala was gone. But Moana knew her grandmother was always with her. Moana was determined to face Te Kā, with or without Maui's help.
I am Moana of Motunui. Aboard my boat, I will sail across the sea and restore the heart of Te Fiti.
Moana steered her boat toward a narrow gap in the barrier islands. Te Kā rose to stop her, but she tricked it. She reversed course and headed for another opening. Te Kā hurled boulders at her, but Moana made it through.
We did it!
Moana looked around.
Hey!
Hey had fallen overboard. When Moana turned around to save the rooster, Te Kā tipped over the boat. Then raising its fist, Te Kā prepared to smash the vessel to bits. At that second, Maui returned to help Moana. He had realized that he didn't need the fishhook to be himself. The demigod blocked Te Kā's blow with his cracked fishhook.
I got your back, chosen one. Go save the world.
Moana and Hey climbed back into the boat.
Wait, Maui. Thank you.
He grinned.
You're welcome.
With Maui holding Te Kā at bay, Moana reached Te Fiti. She raced up a slope and stopped short. Where Te Fiti should have been was an empty crater. Maui flew toward the lava monster, but Te Kā knocked him to the ground, shattering his hook. As Moana stared at Te Kā, she caught a glimpse of a familiar spiral in its chest. Suddenly, Moana knew exactly what to do. She held up the heart, instructing the water to let her through. The water pulled away from the shore, clearing a path for the angry Te Kā to reach Moana. The monster raced toward her, but Moana stood tall, unafraid. Then, a low, sweet song filled the air. Te Kā grew calm. As the monster reached her, Moana touched her forehead to Te Kā's and told her to remember who it was. At that car's rocky exterior fell away. Inside was a kind, smiling face. It was Tefiti. Her life-giving heart had been returned, transforming her back into her true self. A crown of flowers blossomed on Tefiti's head. Tefiti thanked Moana and Maui. She repaired Moana's canoe and restored Maui's shattered fishhook. As Maui prepared to leave, Moana had a suggestion.
You could come with us, you know. My people are going to need a master wayfinder.
Maui gave Moana a hug.
They already have one.
A new tattoo appeared over Maui's heart. It was Moana, the Wayfinder. Maui turned into a hawk once more and flew off. Moana set a course for home. Behind her, the green island of Tefiti bloomed. On Motunui, Moana's mother and father noticed the land turning green again. Together, they raced down to the water's edge. They knew that Moana would return triumphant. A moment later, the shadow of Moana's boat emerged from the horizon line. The great wayfinder was home. With Tefiti restored, everything on Motunui began to bloom again. The villagers pulled the ancient boats from the cave and repaired them. The time for voyaging had returned. It was time for the people of Motunui to remember who they were. It was time for Moana to lead her people on new adventures across the sea.